Hi everyone, my name is Diana Hernandez and I am a senior at ASU and my major is tourism development management. And all three of us are part of the Barry Honors College and we're doing this as part of the honors contract. And I'm going to hand the mic off to my colleague.
Hi everybody, my name is Rocio Sanchez. I am majoring in business tourism through WP Carey, and I'm taking a lot of tourism classes, so this is one of them. And I hope you like our presentation because we really put in a lot of effort.
I'm Sienna Mueller and I'm a sustainable tourism major, so I really loved having hands-on experience to create a tourism plan.
Alright, now that we have a PowerPoint up on the board, beside Evan Jordan is our professor, and for the class it was TDM 372, which is tourism planning. And then also just a quick shout out to everybody in the class. This wasn't just a 3-person group, it would be impossible to tackle everything. So just quick thanks to everybody else in the class. We were split up into different groups from resource assessment all the way down to implementation. So everybody did their part, we did research, we had group discussions, so thanks for everybody to getting your work in on time so we're able to present to the city of Apache Junction.
Alright, just a quick presentation outline. We're going to be going over our goals and objectives when creating the tourism plan, our findings through a SWOT analysis, our suggestions for Apache Junction, and then implementation strategies, followed by our future consideration plans. Alright, so first our goals and objectives. Our goal was to identify the issues that are key to increasing Apache Junction's visibility as a tourism destination in Arizona. Currently, it's really thought about as a gateway to other places in Phoenix, but it has so much potential to be its own tourism destination, and we really wanted to emphasize that. So we wanted to do that through the objective of creating a tourism plan to help identify the next steps of strengthening the tourism brand of Apache Junction. And Diana's going to go back into the SWOT analysis.
Through our findings, we did a SWOT analysis. So we're going to start off with the internal parts, which are our strengths and weaknesses. And obviously, as the presenter before us, we have the superstitious mountain and a great proximity to natural resources. However, the weakness is the lack of branding of Apache Junction, which can be a downfall because people don't really know it's there, and the hiking trails aren't there, and the zip lines are there, so that's a really big downfall. And also, Apache Junction is also slightly limited in the built infrastructures for entertainment, such as like big convention centers for concerts and whatnot. And then moving on to the external part of the SWOT analysis, as far as opportunities, and we'll mention more about adventure tourism in the next couple of slides, but growing niche market, so it's like a smaller industry as far inside the tourism industry. And so growing the adventure tourism niche market, as well as using the technology to grow and expand that as social media, like we had the website presented earlier. And then as far as threats, from our community engagement group, there was some discrepancy as far as the attitude towards tourism in Apache Junction. So there was positive and negative feedback from that from the community as we did the analysis. And I'm going to go ahead and pass on the mic to Rocio for any the future suggestions.
Thank you, Diana. Okay, so now that we've identified some strengths and weaknesses, I wanted to really put emphasis on the suggestions that we have for AJ and the main strategy that we want to tackle to be able to increase tourism. And that means maintaining and increasing outdoor activities that focus on the Western brand and culture of AJ. This is through developing what is already there, so through the natural resources available, through the culture, what people really live for and move to Apache Junction for. And then in order to do that, we want to market the accessibility to these natural resources. So that means marketing the different trails to the Superstition Mountains, also like marketing different bike trails or attractions that are in Canyon Lake that surround AJ. And then in order to modernize the accessibility to these resources, we should also be expanding the the market towards adventure tourists. So what this means is that we're focusing all of these attractions to a specific market and just focusing on how to bring those into Apache Junction, and also taking advantage of the airport that's nearby, the Gateway Airport, because although Phoenix Sky Harbor is international, we can also use that airport a little bit more because it's closer to AJ, and bring those tourists directly into Apache Junction, opposed to like into Phoenix and then Apache Junction. And the next slide will tell you a little bit more as to why we want to focus on adventure tourists.
Okay, so as far as the adventure tourists, just a quick background on adventure tourism. Like I mentioned before, it is a niche market inside the industry, and it's basically just a more outdoors, riskier, hands-on type of tourism. So you're going to have ATVing, you're going to have zip lining activities, which are really going to attract those tourists. So as far as the tourists that you are looking at, they're going to be about an average of 36 years old, could be younger, could be a little bit older. And they are the type of tourists that book things online. They go on TripAdvisor, they read National Geographic, they really want to know as far as like what's out there. I know we have a lot of students, at least in my class, that are very avid on hiking and finding new trails and things like that. So that's someone you really want to market to, as far as, because you have the trails, you have it. It's just a matter of reaching out to them and getting them to come. And then just following back to our CEO as far as implementation of these suggestions.
So to be able to reach our target market, the main suggestion that we are making is to be a little bit more involved in social media platforms. And I know the previous presenter mentioned the accessibility on the website. That's really important because this is the main page where tourists are going to find out about Apache Junction, to find out what is available, what is there to do there. And then obviously be very inclusive towards those tourists that look into reviews, that look into the different tags that their friends make on Instagram, on Facebook. I know that when I travel, I like to look at places before going. I like to explore what's in that area through pictures and videos to be able to know what I'm expecting or what expecting to pack, or if there's dining options available, and consider all those sections. And then integrating social media into the actual website where it can be easily accessible. At the bottom of the page, having the icon for Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And then one click away, it can take you directly to a Facebook page where different visitors have tagged and rated Apache Junction and their experience there. And then continue to co-brand with Visit Arizona, Visit Phoenix, because I think that's really, really important to be able to, AJ is part of Arizona, it's part of the state, and to be able to market that with the same tourism sector and the same tourism hashtags will bring a lot of people into the social media pages. So if I click Visit AZ, it'll take me through different photos of Arizona. And if people are tagging that about, when they visit AJ, then it's obviously going to inform them and show them what AJ is like. And just two other things to consider, aside from just reaching out to tourists through social media, is in order to bring these visitors here, what else do we need to do? And that means that we need to be able to accommodate these tourists, to be able to have those rooms available, especially during winter season where a lot of people from different states come into Arizona. Be able to have enough space, enough rooms to have these people stay here. And that's through developing a brand. A lot of visitors, or a lot of tourists follow brands that are loyal to brands like Marriott, Starwood, Hilton. And I know it's hard to develop a hotel from the ground up, but when we get those sponsorships, we also get the tourists that follow those brands.
All right, really quick, back to food and beverage. In order to market to this niche market, we're going to have something that they can do after these outdoors activities. So creating a downtown hub would really attract these tourists to stay in Apache Junction. And that's going to include having more restaurants, varieties, and things to do in a downtown center. Along with that, we're going to need to build a community, and this is going to be a sustainable aspect for long term. So with a increase of tourism development, there's going to be new tourism employees. And how great would it be, instead of having them commute from other Phoenix areas, to actually live in the community? So we want to be able to have affordable and attractive housing for them to live within Apache Junction and create family-friendly neighborhoods as well. Finally, to create events that are going to join Apache Junction together. It's going to unite the annual residents as well as winter residents, so that everyone can feel like they're involved and they're a stakeholder in the community. So thank you so much for listening to our presentation on our tourism plan. Are there any questions?